Advanced vocabulary. Topic: rural.
Welcome to my YouTube channel, IGCSE English Kingdom.
Enjoying the content? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more. If you found this helpful, share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching.
Agrarian, related to farming and rural life. Bucolic, beautiful and peaceful countryside. Pastoral, relating to the countryside or rural life. Rustic, simple and charming like the countryside. Serene, calm and peaceful, often describing nature. Secluded, hidden away from populated areas. Idyllic, perfectly peaceful and picturesque. Hinterland, remote or less developed inland areas. Scenic, offering beautiful natural views. Untamed, wild and not controlled by humans. Unspoiled, pure and untouched by modernity. Lush, full of rich plant life. Meandering, winding and twisting naturally. Verdant, green and covered with plants. Tranquil, quiet and undisturbed. Placid, peaceful and calm. Fertile, land rich in nutrients for growing crops. Cultivated, land prepared for farming. Arable, suitable for growing crops. Irrigation, artificial watering of farmland. Homestead, a rural home with surrounding land. Barnyard, an area around a farm's barn. Thatched, a roof made from straw or reeds. Herding, gathering and moving animals. Livestock, farm animals raised for food or trade. Fallow, land left unplanted to restore fertility. Haystack, a pile of dried grass used as animal food. Paddock, a small field for keeping animals. Orchard, a field where fruit trees grow. Meadow, a grassy field often full of flowers. Pasture, land where animals graze. Grazing, animals feeding on grass. Ranch, a large farm for animals. Timberland, forested land used for wood. Countryside, rural areas outside of cities. Outskirts, the far edges of a town or city. Hamlet, a very small village. Village, a small community in the countryside. Settler, a person who moves to live in a rural area. Dwellings, places where people live. Homely, simple and comfortable like home. Modest, simple and not overly fancy. Self-sufficient, able to provide for one's own needs. Frugal, living simply with limited resources. Subsistence, farming just enough for basic needs. Cottage, a small, cozy countryside home. Ruralism, a lifestyle focused on country living. Countrified, having a simple rural appearance. Far-flung, very remote and distant. Backwater, an isolated or undeveloped area. Outpost, a small remote settlement. Nomadic, moving from place to place without a fixed home. Isolation, being far away from other places or people. Solitude, peaceful loneliness. Wilderness, a natural, untamed landscape. Remote, far from populated areas. Barren, land too poor to produce crops. Desolate, empty and lifeless. Drought, a long period without rain. Harvest, gathering crops from fields. Plowing, turning over soil for planting. Reaping, collecting crops at harvest time. Sowing, planting seeds in soil. Threshing, separating grains from harvested plants. Milling, grinding grains into flour. Handicrafts, items made by hand, often in rural areas. Artisan, a skilled craftsman in a rural setting. Cooperative, a group working together for mutual benefit. Communal, shared by a rural community. Traditional, based on customs and old ways of life. Folklore, rural stories, myths, and traditions. Heritage, cultural traditions passed down generations. Customary, something typical in rural culture. Festivities, local celebrations or rural events. Agritourism, tourism focused on farm experiences. Eco-friendly, sustainable and good for nature. Sustainability, using resources without damaging the future. Self-reliant, not dependent on others. Rural exodus, people leaving the countryside for cities. Urbanization, the growth of cities at the expense of rural areas. Depopulation, decline in the number of rural residents. Migration, moving from one place to another. Infrastructure, basic facilities like roads and power in rural areas. Underdeveloped, lacking modern facilities. Deprived, poor and lacking basic resources. Sparse, few people or buildings spread out. Neglected, not well taken care of. Primitive, simple and lacking modern advancements. Unpaved, roads made of dirt instead of concrete. Thatched roof, a roof made of straw or dried plants. Outmoded, old-fashioned and no longer useful. Herbaceous, covered with non-woody plants. Biodiversity, variety of plants and animals in rural areas. Flourishing, growing and thriving. Harmonious, living in balance with nature. Weathered, worn down by natural elements. Simple living, a lifestyle with few modern luxuries. Nostalgic, longing for the past, often rural life. Picturesque, visually charming and attractive. Timeless, not affected by modern changes.